Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about the 1-2-2 press. We're going to use two teams for examples. We're going to talk about Villanova and we're talking about Shaka Smart's VCU defense. For Villanova, we're going to see more of a passive 1-2-2, more of a relaxed and trying to control the tempo 1-2-2. And for Shaka Smart, we saw more of an aggressive 1-2-2. We're going to focus mostly on Villanova's because I think personally, philosophically, Villanova's way of running the 1-2-2 is the way to go about it. The three channels that we're actually going to look at, I want to give a shout out to is Half Court Hoops, as you can see in the corner right here, Championship Productions, and Coach Base. I'm going to link all three of the videos in the description if you want to check them out for other opinions as well. So first and foremost, the rule that we want to talk about is the 1-2-2. The idea is to cause panic. Your goal is to rush the ball handler. Make them make bad decisions. Humans are not very good at making quick decisions when you take them out of their element, and that is 100% our goal. That being said, before we can even get to that, we have to acknowledge that in order for a 1-2-2 to be successful, you have to not give up things on the other end. You have to be safe on the defensive end. So the first thing we're going to talk about is these off-ball players. They are zoning up. This defender right here is making sure that this pass is not able to happen. The reason we don't want these two passes to happen is because they get ahead and then you have numbers and you have advantage going to attack the basket. This pass is fine. So if you are trying to encourage a pass, you want them to pass it backwards because you still have the numbers and you can use that to create another trap on the other side. So this defender takes away the middle and ball handler panics and throws it right to Villanova. So for the safety, you really have to make sure that these two players are 100% in line and know what they're doing. Then these two are more of the safety side, but this player is going to go up here to trap, obviously. 5 has to be responsible. You cannot allow anything into this middle. 45 has to take away the sideline, and then 2 is kind of like the last safety, and you want to take away whatever their back farthest defender is. But again, these two defenders, you can commit only if you know that you have safe behind you. Okay, we see no pass to the middle, no pass to the sideline, no pass way over the top. Villanova is exactly in the situation that they want in that situation. Even if you get past the original trap, you still have defenders that are able to be in a good position to make a play on the ball and make sure you don't give up anything easy at the rim. So then, for the actual trappers, here, again, the idea is making calculated gambles. Your goal is not to get the steal if you're on ball. Instead, your goal is to simply cause the offense to do something stupid. And they will. They absolutely will do these stupid things if you simply give them the opportunity to. As you go on ball, you see Villanova is they're never sprinting hard to aggressively trap. Instead, they're letting them come to them. And then once they get past a certain line of demarcation, these little areas over here, then they're making calculated gambles. At no point is Villanova sprinting to the ball recklessly. Never. They are calculated and calm. When they go, they are on balance and they're showing their hands. If the referee sees a press, their first thought is going to be, oh crap, there's going to be contact, there's going to be a lot of fouls called. We need to make sure that we officiate this game. So Villanova on defense shows their hands unbelievably well and make sure they don't get any foul calls on the ball. Instead, be patient. Rush the offense just slightly and they will make bad decisions. Very rarely in these examples do you even see Villanova getting that close to the offensive player. It's simply the idea of the trap that causes so much issues and they're patient with it. This defender right there, you saw him with his hands up, did not get his arms down, hands up and play for deflections. You're not getting the steal as an all-ball defender. You are making the offense make a stupid decision and playing for the deflections one way or the other. And Villanova did this unbelievably well. And let's listen to Jay Wright talk about some of these concepts.
You are responsible for no middle. Here's our rules. Number one most important rule, no middle. No middle. The ball never gets to the middle of the floor.
And the reason for the no middle is because once you get it to the middle, the offense has all their options. They can see either side of the court and they're going downhill, probably with numbers. And so you cannot allow that. And then for the traps, well, you got to take away your side of the court and then make sure the passes are not able to be skipped. Instead, let them pass it backwards is fine.
Ball side, everybody gets ball side, and we take away all passes ball side. We allow passes backwards.
Backwards are fine because you can simply trap on the other side. It is low risk and you still have the opportunity for reward. Now, looking at Shaka Smart's variation on this, they actually call this a 1-2-1-1, I believe, but it's the same concept as a 1-2-2. What we see with VCU is we see a far more aggressive mentality where they're using athleticism to create a bunch of chaos. With Villanova, we saw very controlled chaos. VCU is a lot more uncontrolled chaos. And they worked with this well because they were able to have the better athletes. They were able to gamble correctly, and they used it to go on their great run, absolutely. The two things I really want to highlight, though, is just how much chaos it causes. It causes Ohio State to start sprinting on the floor. VCU is absolutely sprinting on the floor. And, it's an out-of-control game, so you have to be able to have the team that's just absolutely willing to take those gambles and make those calculated risks. But then the bigger concern for me is if you're on defense, this style of defense encourages fouls much more. And foul trouble is a real issue. You can see the foul call right there. And we saw in those Villanova clips, there was no real reason to call foul, another foul call, because there were a lot less chaos going on. It was more of a controlled trap instead of being aggressive and looking in for those steals in particular. And so the one issue I have with this is it encourages to get in foul trouble. And if you have a team that can really make their free throws and get to that foul trouble, especially early in the game, it limits what you can do on defense. So I personally prefer a more controlled style. So the overarching keys of being extremely patient, causing panic by soft trapping and allowing your deflections to get the steal, being safe with every instance of the trap, whether that be when you go in not fouling or offside defenders zoning up and make sure they don't have the pass to the middle and the pass to the sideline, and allowing the passes backwards is what creates great opportunities for a 1-2-2 press. And I personally think it's a very usable press, especially at the high school or lower college levels. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. And most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.